So I'm told that it's too bright in here. You liked it better when it was darker? Because it's my job to put you to sleep. All right, so I'm going to, let's see which ones we're going to do. Let's try this. Let's try, tell me what you think about this. Oh. I'll tell you one another day. It's not a good time to try to teach somebody how to use this yet.
There's
And
better.
a whole bunch of them. I'll explain. Is that better?
Yeah.
I turned everything down 2 notches. Was that good?
That's good.
I turned the ceiling lights on down 2 notches. It is my job on Shabbat to put you to sleep so you get a good restful Shabbat, right? So I have now set the mood. Wrong? Then I'm not doing my job, Margaret. You make me sad. I want to do my job and put everybody to sleep. That's what I want to do. We would like to, I tell, especially Jay, when he says, that I am unique, that he doesn't fall asleep during my services. And I tell him he hurts my heart because it's my job to make sure you rest on Shabbat. I want you to sleep. I want you to have a restful food. That's why we got the comfy chairs so that you fall asleep during services. That is my job. So now we've turned the lights down a little bit too. And I hope that helps. So we were just sitting here saying we were feeling guilty because most of the Shabbats during the summer we are doing service. Which service have we done most of the time? 3. Most of the time we do service 3 because we like to think it's the shortest one. And nobody has complained yet that we're doing service 3 all the time, that it's the shortest one. But we think we should in the summer. I mean, I think it's a good idea to do a short one in the summer. And I love this one too. I like what it says. And I wanted to start tonight saying a couple things. Last Friday night, I talked about love. It was the end of Tu B'Av, which is the holiday of love. And the Torah portion is Ve'ahavta, you shall love. And there were some really bad things that happened in the world. And I did not mention them. And there's some really bad things that happen here and in the world again this week. They're there. And I can talk to you about them if you want during the week. But on Shabbat, I'd really rather not talk about them much. So I will acknowledge some things, but I would really rather not talk about some of those things on Shabbat. Even if we're in mourning, public mourning is supposed to be suspended on Shabbat. You're supposed to have Shabbat joy. And that's why last week, or 2 weeks ago, for example, when we had Tisha B'Av, the saddest holiday of the year, it's not allowed to fall on Shabbat. Yom Kippur is not sad. It's allowed to be on Shabbat because it's not sad, it's just serious. It's not the same thing. So, if you'd rather have me mention those things, you're welcome to bring them up during services. There are people we need to remember. But I don't like talking about all the tragedies. They're there, whether we're thinking about them or not, and I'm not trying to be Pollyanna about that. It hurts. And Shabbat is supposed to have a little bit of extra joy, a little bit of extra soul, and those things exist anyway, but we're in a little Shabbat bubble right now. One of the things that we do, we are 5 weeks away from Rosh Hashanah, by the way. I don't say that to alarm you. I say that to alarm me. We are not ready. Did anybody get their bulletins yet today? Some people got it today. I still haven't gotten mine. But, what? It's too long? I know, it was a 12-pager. Oh, what? So, yeah, I don't know what took so long. We submitted it to the printer more than a week ago, and it's just coming into people's mailboxes now. For those of you with online access, it's online. But gives you an idea of where we are in the scheme of things. One of the things that some traditions do is that today there was a tradition about studying the sayings of the fathers, or the ethics of the fathers, or Pirkei Avot, however you want to translate that into English. It doesn't just mean fathers, it means ancestors. It's a whole bunch of words to the wise, from the wise. And the chapter that we're supposed to be reading today, chapter 4, starts with something that is in a song. I'm not going to share the song with you today, but I love the sentiment. It says, and it's kind of a good thing, if you had to sum up in a sentence, Who is wise? How would you answer who is wise? That's somebody who's read Pirkei Avot. The one who learns from everyone, that's someone who's wise. A wise guy, someone who's wise learns from everyone. And who is rich?
Sure.
Whoever is content with what they already have, that's rich. Does that mean you can't want any more? You can't have any more? Of course you can have more if you want. And of course you could want more, but that doesn't mean you're not content with what you have. I used to say, be content but never satisfied. And who is strong? The guy in the suit. Oh, come on. Who is strong? Hakovet gizro. Whoever can control their strength, that's someone who's strong. It doesn't mean that, you could win the arm wrestle, but you don't go around punching people in the nose, I guess is what it means. Whoever can control their strength, that's strong. And there's a lot more. If you haven't dabbled in the sayings of the fathers, in the big blue book of all the things that we didn't like, the one that came before this one, the gates of blue we call it, the gates of prayer that was blue, before you got to the prayer section, there were quotes from Pirkei Avot, and it was kind of helpful to have them there. Quotes from Pirkei Avot. They didn't have the whole book, but they had quotes. In a traditional prayer book, you could have the whole book. And if you're thinking about it, today was a chapter 4 day. So we start our service with a deep breath. Let it out slowly. One more time. Let it out slowly. My neck was stressed. I had a stressful week. I think some of you did too. And I'm very thankful it's Shabbat. Since we are still in the summer, everyone here is honored with the responsibility of helping us with the blessings to welcome Shabbat. We turn to page 82, and I ask that you rise, because if we were home, then you'd be at the kitchen table or wherever you light your candles, and we would be standing. And if you can't stand and sit, then we like to say, you stand in spirit with us, and that's fine. So we read together on page 82. These lights are only flickering flames, yet flames illumine our uncertain steps. Flames remind us of Sabbaths long past and of their beauty that delighted our hearts. May they inspire us to work for the great Sabbath of peace. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Look at those candles, and those are Shabbat candles. That blessing has the added part to it that says, we were made holy because we are fulfilling commandments. That's important to remember for later. I like that we're fulfilling commandments. We now turn to pages 165, 166, and 167. If you want to read it in English, you're going to have to look at page 166. If you want to read it in transliteration, it's 165 and 166. I'm going to chant it in Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila l'mikra hekodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. L'chaim. You may be seated. Please say Shabbat Shalom to someone you came in with. Please say Shabbat Shalom to somebody you didn't come in with.
Balance my French.
Good Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom. We just fulfilled 2 mitzvot by lighting candles and by blessing the wine. Were those hard mitzvot or those were easy mitzvot? Think about it. There will be a quiz later. Oh, no, wait, there won't be a quiz. It's Shabbat. We continue on page 83. There are days when we seek material things and measure failure by what we do not own.
On Shabbat, we wish not to acquire, but to share.
There are days when we exploit nature with reckless greed.
On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation.
There are days when we think only of ourselves.
On Shabbat, we open our hearts to the needs of others.
Therefore, we welcome Shabbat.
Day of joy, day of peace.
Look around because we're welcoming the angels that accompany us on Shabbat. Here they come. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The word in Hebrew for angel, malach, is also the word for messenger. In this song, we talk about malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, and in the second line it says, mi melech malachei hamlachim, totally different things. The malach and the melech, totally different things. In the first line of each of these verses, we're talking about angels that are messengers. In the second line, when we say melech, malachei, we're talking about the king of kings. It's a really cool, poetic nuance in the Hebrew that now you can appreciate. We continue on page 85. The synagogue is the sanctuary of Israel, born of our longing for the living God. It has been to Israel throughout our wanderings a visible token of the presence of God in our people's midst. Its beauty is the beauty of holiness. Steadfast, it has stood as the champion of justice, mercy, and peace. Its truths are true for all people. Its love is the love for all people. Its God is the God of all people. As it has been said, my house shall be called a house of prayer for all peoples. Let the family of Israel, all who hunger for righteousness, all who seek the eternal, find God here, and here find life. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divrei chiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh. B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chay dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'meru. Amen. Yehesh Rabbah mevarach ve'alam al maya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpahar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemet yukudisha brichu le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'meru. Amen. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach
Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Oh God, how can we know you? Where can we find you? You are as close to us as breathing, yet you are farther than the farthermost star. You are as mysterious as the vast solitudes of night, yet as familiar to us as the light of the sun. To Moses you said, "You cannot see my face, but I will make all my goodness pass before you." Even so does your goodness pass before us, in the realm of nature and in the joys and sorrows of life.
When justice burns within us like a flaming fire, when love evokes willing sacrifice from us, when to the last full measure of selfless devotion we demonstrate our belief in the ultimate triumph of truth and righteousness, then your goodness enters our lives, and we can begin to change the world. And then you live within our hearts, and we, through righteousness, behold your presence.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. You may be seated. Last 2 weeks we did this in Hebrew. This time I'm going to change it up. Let's do this one in English. Bottom of page 88. You shall love your eternal God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your being. Set these words which I command you this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be symbols before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. So shall you consecrate yourselves to your God. I am your eternal God, who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I am your eternal God. I, the Eternal One, have called you to righteousness and taken you by the hand and kept you. I have made you a covenant people, a light to the nations.
Covenant between God and God's children.
This is the covenant I make with Israel. I will place my Torah in your midst and write it upon your hearts. I will be your God, and you shall be my people.
We are Israel. Our Torah forbids the worship of race or nation, possessions or power.
You who worship gods that cannot save you, hear the words of the Eternal One. I am God, there is none else.
We are Israel. Our prophets proclaimed an exalted vision for the world.
Hate evil and love what is good. Let justice well up as waters and righteousness as a mighty stream.
We are Israel, schooled in the suffering of the oppressed.
You shall not oppress your neighbors nor rob them. You shall not stand idle while your neighbor bleeds.
We are Israel, taught to beat swords into plowshares, commanded to pursue peace.
Violence shall no longer be heard in your land, desolation and destruction within your borders. All your children will be taught of your God, and great shall be the peace of your children.
We are Israel, O God, when we are witnesses to your love and messengers of your truth.
You are my witnesses, says the Eternal One, and my servant whom I have chosen. Know me, therefore, and put your trust in me.
We are Israel, O God, when we proclaim you, God our Redeemer, as did our ancestors on the shores of the Red Sea.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef ele, nora tehilot osef ele, malchutecha ra'u v'anecha bokeh hayam lifnei Moshe zelianu ve'amernu Adonai Imloch, Adonai Imloch, Leolam Vaed. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael, we praise you, O God, Redeemer of Israel. May we lie down this night in peace and rise up to life renewed. O God, spread over us your shelter of peace, of quiet and calm, and bless us with rest. And let a time come when morning will bring no word of war, or famine, or anguish, a time of happiness, of contentment and rest. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. We give thanks for the night and its rest, and the promise of peace for all the world. Vishameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Please rise for the tefillah, which begins on page 93. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, ve'Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Hasadim Tovim, Ve'Konei Hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. God of all generations, of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, of Sarah, Rebekah, Leah, and Rachel, be praised. Your wondrous creative power fills heaven and earth.
God of life and death, be praised. Through us, send help to the falling, healing to the sick, freedom to the captive. Confirm your faithfulness to those who sleep in the dust.
Awesome and holy God, be praised. With acts of love and truth, we hallow your name. As it is said, be holy, for I, your eternal God, am holy.
God of times and seasons, be praised. Enable us through Sabbath rest to explore and learn and impart the meanings of your Torah. Make our hearts ready to serve you this day and all days.
God who answers prayer, be praised. May we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God.
Source of life, be praised. You are the miracle within all we behold. You are goodness, you are compassion. We give thanks to you forever.
God of peace, of justice, and of love, be praised. Inspire us to banish forever hatred, war, and bloodshed. Help us to establish forever one human family united in peace. God of peace, bless us with peace.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ve'tov b'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
We now take a moment for our own private conversation with God as we pray silently. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you. Be acceptable to you. Adonai Tzuri, God my rock, Tzuri v'Goali, my rock and my redeemer. Adonai Tzuri, God my rock, v'Goali. this time in our service, our hearts and our prayers turn to those who are ill or recuperating as we turn to the inside back cover of our prayer book. You are welcome to call out names of people for whom you would like us to be praying. If you have any, please call them out.
Sister Mary Jo.
For all these names, and for the names we hold in our hearts and choose not to say out loud, we pray together. O God, in our hearts we name those who are facing illness and pain. We join our prayers with the prayers of all who love them. Give them renewed comfort and courage. Strengthen in them the healing powers you have placed within us all. Guide the hands and hearts of those who are entrusted with their care. May the knowledge of your love and ours give added hope to them and to their dear ones. May they find even greater strength because our prayers are linked to theirs. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei HaCholim. We praise you, eternal God, the source of healing and health. And at a time when it feels like it is more dangerous to be serving in our own community with our own brothers and sisters than it is to even be serving far away, we say, Misheberach avotenu v'imotenu, may the one who blessed and protected our ancestors guard all those whom we have entrusted with the responsibility of defending our freedom and protecting us. In this country, in the land of Israel, and everywhere they have been called to serve, may they return home safely. And let us say,
Amen.
A little thing. I know we still have birthday blessings today and anniversary blessings. The Torah portion this week is called Ekev, and it might remind you of somebody's name. Anybody know a name, a Hebrew name that's got Ekev? I'll give you a hint. It was Esau's twin brother. Who is Esau's twin brother? The guy with his jacket. Jacob. Thank you. So Jacob in Hebrew's name is Yaakov. And it comes from that word ekev, which means heel. And some people translate it as being someone who is deceiving. And if you are someone who deceives, you are kind of lowest of the low. The heel name was based on, if you remember in the story with the twins, that he was grasping at the heel of his brother. It felt like he was trying very hard to pull the brother back so he could be the first one born. But in any case, he always had that name that meant something to do with heel. And the Torah portion this week starts with the word that is ekev, which is sometimes translated as heel. But in most translations, they translate it as if. And if it shall be that you listen to the laws of God and observe God's commandments, God will keep with you the covenant and the kindliness that God had swore to your ancestors. And it's a pretty big if. If you keep commandments, God will be favorable to you. But I don't know how they get if out of akev. Akev is a word, and it's not the if word. I mean, yes, it makes sense in that context. But if you think of it as something to do with the heel, then the interpretations that the rabbis give us is that even the littlest of commandments, even what seems to be insignificant, can be helpful. So the thing that surprised me is one of the commentaries that I was reading said, for what was lowly, it says, Rashi explained that Moses was telling the children of Israel that if you keep the less important commandments, which a person tends to tread on with his heels, God will keep his promise and reward you. And it says here, Rashi gives importance to the commandments that might seem less important to us. And this is what they listed: calling a lonely friend or being more attentive to others. Those are the lowly commandments. Does that make any sense to you, that those are lesser commandments? That's what I meant by there's going to be a quiz. We start the service by fulfilling commandments about lighting candles and sanctifying Shabbat. Are those lofty commandments? And calling a lonely friend is a lowly commandment? I'm not sure what they mean by that. But it reminded me of the smaller commandments, the ones that might fall through the cracks, I guess. I don't know. It reminded me, this week has been the kind of week that there are things that you know you're supposed to do, but you really don't want to do them. I know it's not tax season. I usually complain about when it's tax season. But there are lots of little things that you know you should do, and you don't always do them. And maybe it's a little bit like lesser commandments, maybe small ones. You learn, if you're a well-seasoned procrastinator, you learn that one of the best ways to get out of procrastinating, to accomplish the big things, is to do the little ones. You do the little things, and the little things build. So there was another quote from the sayings of the ancestor, Pirkei Avot today, that says, mitzvah goreret mitzvah, that a mitzvah leads to other mitzvahs. If you do the opposite, it leads to doing more opposites. But even if you start with little things, Flo Selber in Torah study used to teach us this wonderful lesson about, she said that every day she makes sure that one of the first things she does is something she really doesn't want to do. And it doesn't matter if it's cleaning the bathroom or calling Comcast tech support, yuck, whatever it is, it's the thing you really don't want to do. And I think that in some ways that's what it means to be at the heel. That if you do those things that you don't want to do, or the lowly things, and sometimes that gives you the incentive to do the rest and let it snowball. That's what I think. There's more. By the way, that's a commercial for tomorrow's Torah portion. There's an awful lot more where that comes from for tomorrow's Torah portion. But now I would like to call up our president because he's back in town. Yay! We missed you both. Let's see what we got. We have this for you. It's short and sweet, sir.
Short and sweet. Good. Shabbat Shalom, y'all. Thank y'all. And happy birthday and anniversary to everybody that will celebrate. We got back. This was our summer travels. And this time we went out west again, but we went to Arizona and Utah. And beautiful country, and got to see the Grand Canyon, the North Rim, South Rim. We also went up to Utah and went through the National Park Center. If you've not had a chance to do that, I'd certainly encourage anybody to do that. And we went to Zion National Park, so I was part of the House of Israel up there. And the first rock formation we saw is called the Three Patriarchs. And so you get there and you look up the mountain, and there's Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. There's 3 peaks. So y'all can pretend you're in services and wherever you are, so you're not far from home. All right. School starts on Caddo Parish on Monday, so please be careful. Watch early when you drive and late after school. Religious school will begin here on August the 23rd. That's coming up fairly soon. Donations were made to B'nai Zion for the Pulpit Flowers in loving memory of Ann Lamberton Bessler from Jane Sklar, in loving memory of Alphonse Brenner from Henry, in loving memory of Irving Selber from Flo.
Thank you. Now, we need some chuppah holders, and we need everybody whose birthday is in August to come on up. Anniversary birthday in August. I know who you are. You're in here. I have a copy. I didn't get my copy delivered, but I have a copy on the bima to know who you are. Four. We need you. We need you. Come on up. Come on under. You want to spread a little so we could all fit under? Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you. Dear God, you are the author of life. You have given us life and sustained us. You have given us friends who are celebrating this month with joyous occasions, and you have given us this opportunity to celebrate with them. Please bless all of our friends here with a new year filled with life, health, happiness, or as I like to say, joy, which is more long-lasting than just happiness. May you be able to handle any of those other things, those things that stick under your heel. May you be able to handle all of those things and know that we're all here for you. We all say together, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehecheyanu, v'kiyamanu, v'higianu lazman hazeh. We praise you, God. You gave us life. You sustained us. You caused us to celebrate together at this special moment. You may be seated. Mazel tov. I'd like to invite everyone who is currently a board member to please come up on the bima. If you're a current board member, Mitch, that includes you, you're a lifetime board member. I'm just saying, he earned it. Everyone who's a board member, please come on up. Everyone else is turning to page 148 because the current board members are going to come up and they're going to open the ark for us. Page 148. Get ready to rise. Hang on. It's going to take us a minute. Huh? You got one. Please rise when the ark is open. Aleinu l'shabach l'Adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. When the ark is closed, you may be seated. Careful. If you have good things to say about our congregation, please tell it to these people. If you have complaints, you're in the wrong place. I don't know what you're doing here. We continue on page 150. The day will come when all shall turn with trust to you, O God, hearkening to your voice, bearing witness to your truth. Please join me. We pray with all our hearts. Let violence be gone. Let the day come soon when evil shall give way to goodness, when war shall be forgotten, and all at last shall live in freedom. O source of life, may we, created in your image, embrace one another in friendship and in joy. Then shall we be one family, and then shall your sovereignty be established on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. The eternal God will reign forever and ever. On that day, O God, you shall be one, and your name shall be one. Bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. I had a piece of paper that I had printed out the name of the officer who died in service here in Shreveport this week, and I wound up with 2 copies of my sermon notes. Does anyone remember his name? Sorry? Lavalley? Thomas. Here in Shreveport. We just started last week reading the names of all of the officers who had fallen during the line of duty in service as police officers and firefighters. Last week we named 3 people who had died in July. One in Louisiana, one in Texas, and one in California in July. And then it's hard to believe that it's one right here in Shreveport. It really impressed upon me when we had Jacob, it's the Yaakov Schick, when we had him here, and Sheriff Prater reminded us that the kind of service that our police officers do are the kind where they are trying to help their brothers and sisters. It's not like they're going off to try to defeat an enemy. They're mostly here to remind us to be safe, remind us we should have been wearing our seatbelts, and remind us we shouldn't be speeding because it's not safe for us to do that, for us or anybody else. And when we do that, we trust them, and they go out and they don't get to come back, it's a shock, it's a horror, it's a tragedy for everyone and not just our community. We continue on page 151. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, let us meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We continue on page 152. When cherished ties are broken and the chain of love is shattered, only trust and the strength of faith can lighten the heaviness of the heart. At times, the pain of separation seems more than we can bear, but love and understanding can help us pass through the darkness toward the light. Out of affliction, the psalmist learned the law of God, and in truth, grief is a great teacher when it sends us back to serve and bless the living. We learn how to counsel and comfort those who, like ourselves, are bowed with sorrow. We learn when to keep silence in their presence, and when a word will assure them of our love and concern. Thus, even when they are gone, the departed are with us, moving us to live as in their higher moments they themselves wished to live. We remember them now. They live in our hearts. They are an abiding blessing. However brief may be our time on earth, O God, you endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. We now recall the loved one who death has taken from us this past month. We remember Mimi Hussey. As we take those who died at this season in years past, we take them into our hearts with our own. Those for whom we are observing Yortzites this past week include H. Mandel Abramson, Joe Abramson, Ann Lamberton Belser, Lila Bernstein, Alphonse Brenner, Harry Brezhner, Joan Marie Spitzer Hockaday, Sarah Kaplan, Jimmy Laudenheimer, Rabbi Charles Mantenbaum, Lillian Winter Michelson, Thelma Mills, Anita Ott, Eva S. Rosen, Hyman Rosen, Bertha Siegel, Irving Selber, Lena Spring, Louis Stein, Nathan Weiss, Florence L. Wiener, and Al Weiner. In this moment of memory, our griefs and sympathies are mingled. Loving God, we rise as together we praise your name. The Mourner's Kaddish is found on page 154. The translation is on 155. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach la'alam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemeh d'kudsha b'richu. La'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran ba'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen. You may be seated. I think that makes a wonderful closing song. Oseh shalom b'romav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Okay, if you had to travel for more than 50 miles to get here, I want you to please come up and help us bless the challah. That sounds fair, doesn't it? Oh, look, we have people who came more than 50 miles. Huh?
We didn't have to come, we just did.
Thank you. But you came for more than 50 miles. We're glad you're here. You want a microphone or no microphone? Here, I'll help you. I'll help you. You see, that's what I'll help. Ready? How do you want to start? Hamotzi or just Baruch? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon. Go ahead, you guys pull. Pull. And then take it and share. Go ahead. Take it back with you. I'll take the, and throw it on the floor. I forgot to tell you, throw it on the floor. You know, in the Jewish Italian tradition, yeah, go ahead. You take, you have, there is, yeah, take that and hand it out to the people in your row. In the Jewish Italian tradition, after you make motzi, before you start your meal, you only hand the bread to people who are in mourning. Other than that, and I'm not kidding, you take a chunk and you throw it. You throw it around the room. So we have a lot of throwing. That's common in our family. You do a lot of throwing. And why are you laughing about Jewish Italian tradition? That's just, why did you laugh about that? It's a very rich tradition. Please rise for the closing benediction. I'm not sure what the difference between small mitzvot and big mitzvot are. I know it feels really wonderful after each one you've done. The one about calling your friends feels really good after you finish that one. You don't have to call, everybody's here right now, so just come and visit with each other now. That's one of the beautiful things that we do. But remember, the little ones, aim for small ones sometimes, and they snowball. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, may God bless you, may God protect you. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka, may the light of God's face shine upon you, be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, may God's face always be lifted up to you. May God grant you peace. Shabbat shalom.